It's time to wake up to the cool side of the pillow. Podcast, that is. While not an actual pillow, it serves as a metaphor for the playgrounds of our collective subconscious. Cool Side of the Pillow is a show about dreams, not goals or aspirations, you sillies. Rather a show that delves into dreams of listeners, just like you. So keep listening, dreamers, our resident experts, and I use that term loosely, Josh and Vince, will do their best to navigate listener-submitted dreams while providing insights and, dare I say it, a dash of fun. Please, just try to enjoy it.
On today's episode, Josh bites off more than he can chew as Vince puts his culinary skills to the test. Plus, we hear from one dreamer who takes a trip down memory lane via Main Street, and another dreamer who has a close encounter with some bears. All that and more today on Cool Side of the Pillow. Doctor says I got the allergies. Not sure where this accent's coming from. Must be a freaking side effect. What a wicked pisser. Wow. Something smells yummy yummers to my tummy tummers. I sure hope the waste management plan isn't backed up again. Or that sloppy cinnamon bun run off. Toxic, but delicious. That was a long month.
Why, listen yonder. Is that the sound of the lanky little tootsies of my co-host slip-slapping the impossibly hot pavement? Smells like it. Oh, I left the griddle cakes on the skillet for a pinch too long. Or was it a dash?
Man, I knew something was stankin' real nice. My boy in the kitchen. Well, maybe more of a office kitchen and off kitchen. It is a bit off-putting because, well, Vince. That's my dude, chefing and jeffing it up.
Yeah, chef. You know how it be sometimes? I'm chopping it up, dicing it up. It can become choppy, it can become dicey. But at the end, you gotta eat it. But that's the life of an artisanal chef. Am I right? So, how was your allergy appointment? Did you get a lollipop at the end?
Well, they only give those out to children. But had I stood up for myself, I'm sure the doc would have given me one.
Dang it. This recipe calls for one gently licked lollipop. Preferably a dum-dum, you dim-dim. Guess these unwrapped pocket Jolly Ranchers will have to do.
The annoying part is having to take these pills every 30 to 40 minutes. Also, I put that PhD in his PLACE, and I said, listen here, doc, don't give me any of those mansy-pansy, wimpy placebo-type pills. I said to him, give me the real man dose type stuff. He then made some very bold claims of side effects, but come on, I am, of course, impervious to those type of things. This temple is my body. I just need to find a clean glass to wash down this allergy pill. If only we had clean glasses and clean cupboards.
Dare to dream. Here. A clean glass. Here you go, your majesty.
Thanks. Down the old food hole.
Well, that seems like a perfectly appropriate amount of time to smack one's lips.
Thanks for noticing. I learned it from Martha Stewartson and the collective known as the Taste Masters. They're the masters of taste, tasting and taste. Mind you, only volumes 1 and 3. 2 is a weird departure into an existential exploration of the shipping logistics segment of the food industry and connections to how it ties into lab-grown meat products. Oof.
You just said a mouthful. Now, have a mouthful of this.
That's mighty delicious shit. It's like an egg roll. No. It's like a crepe. No. It's like spaghetti. Homemade. Yep. Foreign. I feel like I've been transported from my bathroom to an outhouse in the Swiss Alps. and dare I say it, on an all-expense-paid trip to flavor country.
Population, you and me. The taste buds, no. The flavor friends. The culinary compadres.
The Mouthmen, nope.
Hee, The Mouthmen Prophecies was a really spooky movie indeed.
What do you call this dish, Vince?
Oops. Though you are quite a dish, I call this the traveling salesperson. Hand over fist, then hand to mouth. First you shovel it north, and then it goes south.
Yeah, but what's in it, though?
You shut up your mouth right now. A chef never reveals their secrets. Much like magicians and beatniks.
Interesting-ish.
I will share this little morsel with you, my guy. Basil, or basil for you silly Brits, and aged sea salt, or the Holy Trinity as I call them.
That was only 2 ingredients.
Yeah, basil, salt, and me. All good cooks should put a bit of themselves in their dishes. Want to know what bit of myself goes in every dish? Stay tuned. The answer might surprise you. Just a little something for all you fine young cannibals to sink your teeth into. It's oh so tasty. Ooh, ooh. I'll say I can't help myself. Impossible thirds, y'all.
This drives me crazy. We need to move some of those dozens of pots and pans so we can interpret a dream.
It's oh so tasty. Ooh, ooh. Oh yeah. It's oh so tasty. Oh so tasty. I'll second help myself. Impossible thirds, y'all. Who?
All right, chef, order up. We got another dream. This one, Vince, is from Chelsea. Sent an email, took that email, turned it into speech.
We shall see what it is.
Hey, cool side. My name is Chelsea and I'm from Arizona. So, my dream started off with me walking down the main street of my hometown, which for context is a small town with less than 10,000 people, and I haven't lived there for 20 plus years. As I'm walking through Main Street, which is just shy of a mile long at best, I start seeing people I know but I haven't seen in years. I see this guy, I'll call him Chris, from my high school graduating class, and he says, "Hi, would you like me to say hello?" I just sort of stared at him for a moment, and before I could answer, he says, kind of smugly, "Have a great day, Chelsea." I then find myself walking again, even though I don't remember thinking about starting to walk again, if that makes any sense.
Nope.
And after, for what seems like a long time, but I have only made it a little ways down Main Street, this older lady that used to babysit me 35 years ago walks out of the pizza shop and goes, "Miss Chelsea, it's a sale on slices. It's a sale on slices." I try to respond to her, but before I can, she very abruptly turns and walks away. Back to me walking again, without thinking about walking, the same sort of feeling as before, and I see the hair salon where I used to get my haircuts. I peek into the window, and the owner, Maggie, gets a big smile and waves me into her shop. I feel happy at the thought of her wanting to see me and immediately head inside. The thing is, when I try to go in the shop, it's just corridors of twists and turns, which gives me this anxious and trapped feeling. I instantly did not want to try and go any further, so I turned to walk out, and luckily to my surprise, I made it out easily. I then saw Maggie glaring at me and shaking her head in disgust, which I assumed was because I didn't go in and say hello to her. Now again, back to walking without thinking about walking. A while later, further down Main Street, coming out of the laundromat, is the janitor from my middle school, Mr. Jeff. He is carrying this comically huge amount of laundry. The mound of clothes is swaying back and forth, and the massive pile tips and sways from side to side.
Yeah, it does.
But he doesn't lose even a single sock. He sees me, stops dead in his tracks and goes, "Hiya, Chell." Just like he used to say to me every day at school. And as quickly as I can, I try to say, "Hi, Mr. Jeff. the same way I did when I was in middle school. But before I can say it, he's gone, and I'm all alone on the street. I look around for a while, and then I just wake up. I'm curious to hear what you two dream mavericks think my dream is about. Thanks.
Down on Main Street.
Oh, that's a great song. Wow.
I really like that she called us Mavericks. That was cheeky.
Yeah, that was nice of her. I feel like maybe instead of high shell, he was like, I'm high as hell. I don't know.
Maybe.
But anyway, maybe. You never know what those janitors be doing.
Custodians, masters of the custodial arts.
Yeah, man. I was one for a short time.
Short king.
Short king for a short time. Call me. So yeah, I thought that was weird because early in the dream, she saw like the dude from her high school or whatever, and he's like, "Would you like to say hello to me?" Like,
yeah,
like, hey, like it's almost Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like, hey, you're not gonna greet me? Like, what are you, not a part of society anymore? You're not like, so. And then it's funny though because he got, and I guess like Maggie also got mad, but it's almost like the opposite. Like this dude got mad at Chelsea for not saying. For being like, hey, would you like to initiate a hello and say hi to me? Whereas Maggie initiated the hello, but I feel like Chelsea was like once bitten, twice shy. So she's like, well, I'm not going to say hello now. Like, I'm not going to get set up for.
Yeah. And she tried to with a janitor too, right? She's like, I tried answering as quickly as possible. And she was getting like cut off from just being a nice person. I think that happens sometimes, right? You're like, you have the best intentions and you want to do the right thing, but somehow, unlike Curb type scenarios, that you kind of get messed up and get cut off, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. And the other thing too that's tough is like, you might say hi to these people every day, and they might, or you might not see them for a while, then you do, and you say hello. And if they're having an off day, you feel like, ooh, is it because we've been distant for a while? Like, is this why you're giving me attitude? Or, or it's hard to know what kind of a day someone's having or how they're feeling. But also when someone emits something at us and is like, blah, we oftentimes take it to heart, take it too personally.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I think her nostalgia too, being the fact that she said, was it over 20 years? She hasn't been to the hometown, and you're walking down the main street as you remember it, and things clearly have moved on, whether you want them to or not. I mean, we've touched on this before as well, right? With childhood homes and things like that you sort of start reflecting, and then you see what you've kind of lost, and it can be really hard, and you don't want it to happen, and you have the best intentions, but things will move on and change without you giving the sign off, and then some people get mad. Yeah.
So I feel like sometimes people also will have like, I don't know, I felt it before, where like it's a protective mechanism where like you're back in your hometown or you're back at your old alma mater or whatever, and you kind of just want to, you can no longer really be a participant in it, and trying to do that is heartbreaking sometimes or too hard to do. So you almost just want to like be an observer of it. And if all of a sudden someone pulls you in, you're almost like, I don't know if I'm emotionally able to handle this or want to deal with this. Like, it's great to be able to like catch up with an old friend or whatever, but sometimes maybe when it seems almost forced or performative, it's like, I just want to observe this. Like, I don't need to be pulled into this thing and try to relive what we once had or what this place once was for us, because it's never going to be the same again. So it's like, let me just be an observer of this. Let me just kind of take it in and be here. But I don't know, it's tough in life. You kind of just have to try to emotionally be prepared for whatever it can throw at you, especially as an adult, because you never know, when you might get some bad news, or when you might like be remembered of something or triggered by something that, maybe used to bum you out, like a song you and an ex might have had, and you hear it and you're like, ooh, that still gives me kind of the yucks in my tummy tum.
Yeah, at one time gave you so much joy and was like the flowering of amazingness, and now it's like withering and dying, and you're like, it gives you the gross feeling. It's weird how that can change, right?
Yeah, and sometimes we want to have selective memories about things as well, so maybe that's why she didn't want to say hi to the one guy from the high school. I mean, I don't know if they got along or were pals or whatever, but maybe she was like, oh, he was like a mean jock or a weird goth or whatever, you know, and maybe she was like, hey, that's a part of my, like, you want to have selective bits of your past. So you're like, yeah, that one guy who was kind of mean in high school, I would really prefer not to talk to him, but the friendly janitor, absolutely, I would, you know, chat with him. I'd welcome that. But then after you might feel a little sad because you're like, you know, man, I remember, you know, a simpler time or another time in my life. And sometimes you want to avoid that. You're like, I don't need the temporary heartache or whatever.
I also think about the idea she was saying. I feel like I understand the walking without the intent to walk. Like you just are all of a sudden walking it. Like you're moving. The dream's like, okay, we're going to the next thing. All of a sudden, like almost like the dream is a movie of sorts, and it cuts to like all of a sudden now we're walking, even though. And it's like forcing her through to the next motion, and you do feel like you're on the conveyor belt of sorts. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Here we go again. Even though I was not even able to say hello to that person, that there's almost like that whole instance with her saying hi to the Chris guy in the beginning could be, you know, you could go so far into what was her relationship? What was he like? What did she unresolved with him? Maybe all that kind of stuff. But here we go. Now we're on to the old lady with the pizza. Slices. There's a sale on slices.
Yeah, with Maggie. Yep. And then I think, you know, it's interesting too because like it's almost like it's like a portal, right? Like a window can be like a portal.
Yeah.
Or a reflection, and she can see, you know, this woman Maggie, and it's like, you know, maybe that goes back into what I was saying about like wanting to just observe the thing. And she sees Maggie wave and whatever, and it's like, hey, come through the portal, come back in time.
Yeah.
And that might not be something you want to relive. So maybe also if there were a way that Chelsea could have communicated with Maggie, like, I'm not trying to be rude, and like I just don't want to come in because like maybe emotionally I can't handle it. Maybe, you know, either good things or bad things, but like if it was good things, it's like, oh, it's just going to be, you know, kind of make me forlorn or, you know, make me kind of sad. But like if it was bad things, like I don't think there were bad memories between them, obviously, because she was finally waving.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, remember we used to like knife fight each other? How you doing, pal? Remember me? Stab. Yeah. So I just think that maybe it was just something where if she could have just communicated to Dream Maggie that like, hey, I'm not trying to be rude. I just really don't want to step back into the past, or I just don't want to step back into this portal and, you know, kind of relive this. Like I'd rather just observe and remember what it was, and that's it, because I can't just insert myself, you know, into a time that is no longer for me, I guess. Man, being an adult is really sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like a grown adult, like when you're in your like late 30s and 40s and 50s and such, it's like, oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well. I wish I had some updated cookware. Look what I have to work with here.
What we need to do is take inventory of what we have, what we want, what we need, what we desire, what we feels best, what we...
Yes, words and words and words all day. You know, I kind of want to just start fresh with a wish list because, I mean, for instance, all we have for measuring is lowercase teaspoons.
You know what? I'll invest in your culinary endeavors. I'll buy you some top-of-the-line cookware. I want to be supportive in your efforts. Heck, consider me your sous chef. After all, I used to study law, took the bar exam, and scored 100% in suing people.
And if you're from the East Coast and you're down with Brooklyn Zoo, that's the sound of my chef. All right, Dr. Sous Chef. Oh, the places you'll go after you eat my green ham and eggs. Most likely the room of bath and relief.
Upon further digital shopping, it looks like a lion's share of our savings will go into this investment. Or, as I always say, an investment.
Lion rar. Click purchase.
Done. Says it should arrive in... Now, I guess. Wow. So, now that we have all the kitchen fixins, what can I help with first?
Well, let's start with a washing.
Okay, I'm ready for my bath. Gonna need plenty of suds, if you know what I mean. Gotta get all those nooks and crannies.
Ah, put that stick away, mister. I didn't mean that we need to wash. We need to deep clean the kitchen and our new supplies. Should take about 2 minutes.
Really? That long?
Well, do you want it done quickly or correctly? You goddamn savage! This kitchen has standards. I didn't get that Michelin tire man rating because I cut corners and or burned tires in the wee hours of the night.
Okay, but you don't have to call me a goddamn savage.
You're right, you savage. Life is short, and these are our wonder years.
At that moment, though I was goddamn inspired, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't concerned that we were getting a bit lost in the sauce. That delicious sauce. Sauce that I never want to find out how it's made. Because, for one, it's got a part of Vince in it. Ick. And two, as the saying goes, you should never meet your heroes. Unless it's a grinder or a sub. And then you give it a European kiss hello.
Excuse me, future narrating Josh. Shut your savage mouth. Ahem. Present Josh. These vintage mystery flavor airheads aren't going to chop and mince themselves.
How many cups did you say we needed?
I didn't. 3.
I'm a bit nervous about how you measure the ingredients.
Psh, don't be. The best chefs never taste their own food. I know my stuff is delicious. Sorry to be a helicopter head chef, but keep stirring the sauce. Don't let the sauce stick.
I'm stirring.
You know what to do?
Yeah.
Don't yeah me, Josh. This is important.
Jesus, you must think I'm dumb. What are you bugging me for? I know what to do. Are you going to start mixing the white Zinfandel into the sauce? I had no idea so much wine was needed to make a proper beef Wellington.
Yep. Perfection isn't a straight road. It's thick and curvy, much like this sexy piece of meat. Gotta make it fresh and tender. Now I gotta pour in a bunch more imitation ketchup and boil it until almost completely reduced. Another soup du jour from yours de moi. These are just tricks of the trade, my dearest of Joshuas. Bork de bork de bork.
I feel like I'm learning so much.
That's because you are.
Thank you for this opportunity and experience. I won't let you down.
You won't let who down?
Oh, you, chef.
Yes, me, chef. Me is the chef.
Yes, chef.
Who?
You, chef.
And sous chef, which is you, chef.
Well, I'm glad that's settled.
Well, I gotta brush the egg wash onto the pastry, then slide this baddest of boys into the old toaster oven for about, minus the additional 1, solve only for x and not the y, because I said so, and then you divide by the square root of ginger. I'd say for about the exact amount of time it will take for us to analyze this next dream.
Sounds good, but Vince, that cats are in the sink again.
Hey, you magnificent 7, you're supposed to be folding napkins. Get out of the sink before you prune up like that of a prune. That reminds me, Josh, you remember Prune Face from Dick Tracy?
Uh-huh.
Sweet, on to the dream. Okay, chef. I have an order, chef.
Yes, chef. Dream chef. We're on a pod, chef.
I need 1 dream, medium steam, a little bit of pepper, splash of crayon, sprinkle with Sandman dust. Hup, hup.
Hi, guys. This is Lauren from Rochester, and this is my dream.
Sure it is.
I am driving my car along what I can only describe as like a wooden bridge or kind of like a boardwalk situation floating on water. It's made out of wooden slats. So you can feel the bumps as my tires go across it. There's homes on stilts along the water on either side of me. And on one side, there's like a forest. I don't know if it's separating the water or what, but there's a forest on my right and wooden homes in the area. The water's calm, the weather's nice, but out of nowhere, as I'm driving, the water starts to like kind of pool around my car, like the bridge is almost sinking. The water turns, the skies get dark, and it becomes very choppy. And kind of what seems like seconds later, the skies clear up again, the water turns calm, and out of nowhere, there's like a rocky cave or cove kind of thing. So at some point during that weather change, I'm out of my car, I guess, and I'm walking along this bridge now. So I go to explore this cave, and I go inside. There's still like a pond situation, grotto, I guess. And there's bears around, and like brown grizzly bears-ish. And they're doing their bear thing. They're, catching salmon and eating it and swimming and just kind of living their life. And so I watch them for a little bit. I don't provoke them. I'm just minding my own business when all of a sudden the bears turn and they see me, and they do not like that I'm there. And so they start to charge me, come after me, and my foot is stuck, so I can't run, and it's stuck in these rocks. And so I'm wiggling and trying to get out.
Oh no.
And as soon as I look up from trying to get my foot out, the bears are right in front of me, claws out, teeth bared, ready to attack. And at that point, I wake up.
Bears baring their teeth, and they bear it all.
Bear witness, News at 11.
The tell-all about bears. Yeah, so that was an interesting one. I thought we were going to get a David the Gnome adventure. All of a sudden, he was going to pop out of a little house and be like, "Hello there, my dear." But instead, we got bears. Great job. No.
All right. Lauren, send us another dream. Make sure it's David the Gnome or gnome-related adjacent.
Yeah, no more bears, okay? Please. Who dreams about bears? Just kidding.
Well, there could be bears, but David has to be riding them or something.
Yeah, little cowboy hats on both. He changes his gnome cap for a cowboy hat, or he puts the cowboy hat on and then he puts the gnome cap, on the outer part. So it's both. So it's, functional.
Yeah. Hat on hat.
Yeah, hat in hand. So yeah, themes about drowning and not being able to escape and observing
a long rickety bridge.
Yeah, that's obviously there was foreshadowing going on. Going over the bridge. It's rickety. It's wooden, and then all of a sudden the weather changes, and you think you're going to drown, and the water's pulling up, and everything's on stilts, and it's weird because you picture homes and things on stilts, and that's quaint, that's cool. But it's also a very dangerous way to live, right? What if the water rises? Your home's going to be demolished or whatever. So I think that was just foreshadowing impending doom. And maybe it was hey, this looks nice and inviting. But then the further you go down that rabbit hole or that bear cave, the more you realize, hey, I shouldn't be here. I got to get out of here. This was enticing at first.
Yeah.
But now it's not so much. So then all of a sudden the weather gets nice again. And you're okay, I'm safe again. And you're just getting lured deeper into that rabbit hole or the bear hole.
Yeah.
The bear's hole. Anyway, nope. Pause. Sorry. But anyway, that's fine. We can leave that. But then, seconds later, as she's seconds later, all of a sudden, things were calm and well. But then, and she's watching the bears, and they're living their life, and they're dancing around, and
they're doing their bear thing.
Yeah, they break out into song.
I love that line.
One of them's playing their belly like the bongos. It's very cute. But then she realized, or then I think the bears realize she's there, and it's you're not one of us. You shouldn't be here. So again, she sees this cute thing, wonderful thing, but it's uh-oh, I'm not supposed to be here, though, am I? Which kind of reminds me of the previous dream where you're I'm in a place that maybe I shouldn't necessarily be. I'm enticed by it, but maybe I don't need to be here. Maybe I shouldn't be here. But with the bear thing, once they recognize her and she's uh-oh, I'm found out again, then she's stuck. Then it's uh-oh, these bears are going to destroy me and rip me to shreds. And maybe her whole dream is a precautionary tale or a warning, hey, in life or maybe at some point down the road, you might find something that looks quaint or enticing or whatever, but be wary, be careful, because it could be a trap. There could be danger associated with it, look at the cute little Tasmanian devil. I'm going to pet his belly, and then it rips you to shreds.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just her subconscious kind of preparing herself, kind of just being hey, Make sure you're vigilant. Make sure you're careful. If things look enticing or whatever else, scope the area out before you just kind of jump in.
Yeah, she's driving along. Bridge is unsafe. Weather changes. Instead of maybe just like stopping, you're like, it's fine. I'll be okay. And then next thing you know, your foot is caught in a rock and the bears are bearing down on you. Mm-hmm. It's not good a situation. Should have listened to the signs. Read the signs. Were there any signs? She didn't actually say there were signs, physical signs, right?
I don't know. It's bear country. It's bat country. It's bat country. But a lot of times it's crazy because we're so used to and relying on signs and things to warn us. And I feel like as time's gone on, our instincts aren't as sharp. So maybe it's just her subconscious's way of being like, hey, not saying that she doesn't already have sharp instincts, but like being like, hey, just remember, keep those instincts because, the subconscious is your friend sometimes. And it will tell you like, things to make sure that you're safe. And I think maybe that was just her internal survival mode, just kind of letting her know like, hey, definitely make sure, even though things look nice, make sure things are safe, make sure things are good because, all of a sudden you get caught and you're like, look at these cute little things or look at these cute creatures. And then all of a sudden it's like, it's not so cute when they come after you. So, a lot of it's just kind of knowing your place, I guess.
Yeah, and I think the nature aspect, it was all, it wasn't like she was in a city or, I think the surroundings matter to a degree. Mm-hmm. And so some of the stuff that seems natural, seems like it should be okay, even not even that well done though. Like the bridge was rickety, she said, and you could feel it like jostling the car and things. Mm-hmm. And then water coming up. I think that really causes you to pay attention to the details, even if they're normally okay. They're normally things that you would think are like, this is safe. This has been here for 100 years, or this is something I've always done.
This will never break, this bridge that's been here for 100 years. Surely it will never break. But
know what I mean? Like your day-to-day stuff, you could still trap you, right? Mm-hmm. The things that you always do are normally safe. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, plus those bridges are just meant for like little baby cubs to run across. They're not meant for big old cars. That's bear country. You can't be in there. Come on now. I'm going to go read some Berenstain Bears, I think.
That's a good idea.
Or maybe have Josh read it to me.
I will. You the big words don't. No. What do you call a bear without bees?
Bear? What do you call a bear without a bee and
ears?
Oh yeah, ears. Well done. Bye-bye.
The cool side of the pillow.
Ooh-wee! Time for us to taste our makings.
I couldn't have said it any better. And I'm the one holding the spoon. Here, get a bowl. It's a slippery little sucker.
Hope it tastes better than it sounds. Vince, I think this beef is making me unwellington.
Give it a moment. Savage and untrained taste buds like yours need a moment to catch up. Speaking of catsup, let me add a bunch more. Now, tell me, sup dog, dog sup. More like sup cat, cat sup. Rawr.
Probably none of that. I think this dish is lacking in goodness.
I already took you out of the oven, Beef Wellington. You should try Beef Havington. Ah, how can I stay mad at such a sexy hunk of meat wrapped in that seductive, flaky pastry coat of yours? What is the thing with all the dang things? I want you to shut off all the dangy things.
My fault, Chef. That's my alarm. Time to take more of my medication. Can you please toss me the bottle?
Mighty interesting side effects. Did you read the bottle?
I glanced at it. Like a man would. My man glance always stands a chance.
Well, your glance is not as advanced, for you see, this isn't sheer happenstance. The side effects clearly state, may cause drowsy taste bud syndrome. Foods that are otherwise inedible may appear more delicious than they have any right to be. How many pills did you take?
Hard to tell because I just crunched a bunch of stuff and you know the rest. I them. But if you want to be a real county the Count of Countington, I'd say 15.
Well, the label says that's way too many. Like, word for word. You just can't make this stuff up. So basically, your pills yummed my yuck. Well, that just plain sucks.
Well, Chef, maybe the world just isn't ready for grotesque cuisine. But that doesn't mean you should stop. Maybe you should just stop serving it to me. Look on the bright side. You might have duped me into damn near clearing out our savings, and we sure did waste perfectly good imitation ketchup, a 5-liter box of White Zinfandel, and grade F meat. But you have a new hobby and a creative outlet. So stay with it, because I think you're happy. You're onto something. I think I'm gonna get sick.
Well, while Josh cleanses his palate, I'll handle the outro. Thanks for listening or whatever. Good job just sitting there, I guess. Show me what the mirrors do. We had fun and seasons in the sun. We'll make sure to look at our Instagram crackers for all your protein needs. Hell with it. I'll let that other guy with the cool, hunky voice do his thing. I'm clearly needed in this kitchen. Time for Kitty's bath.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Cool Side of the Pillow. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss a dream. Want more? Head over to coolsideofthepillow.com to grab some merch, get your links, and more importantly, send us your dreams. That's right, we want to hear them. You can email a text version to dreams@coolsideofthepillow.com. Or, if you're feeling bold, send us a voice message. Try to keep it around 3 minutes or less, and we just might feature it and give it the full dream interpretation treatment. More of a visual person? Subscribe to Cool Side of the Pillow on YouTube. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Cool Side of the Pillow Pod Official for updates, wacky content, and other weird dream stuff. Until next time, sleep tight, dream deep, and stay cool.
Taking direction well.
Logan, can you hear me?
Yeah. What's wrong?
You just went into a dream state again. What did you see?
Me being trained to take people out.
That's my dude, chefing and jeffing it up.
I'm Jeff. With the double F. Don't you fuck with Jeff. He's quite a guy.
Jeffing it to the limit.